All right, guys, what's up, and welcome back to the South American qualifiers here for the Bucharest Minor. It's going to be the winners match. Got WP Gaming going up against Playmakers. I'm probably going to end up calling them Well Played Gaming because I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for, and that's just a lot easier to say. But you know what? Either way, both teams have beaten their infamous opponents. Literally infamous opponents, because Infamous Young and Infamous Proper are now both waiting in the lower bracket for their own game. It's going to be quite a slog for them. But the winner of this goes on to the grand finals. Loser of this just drops down to the lowers to face the winner of either of the infamous teams, depending on who wins there. That's going to be played tomorrow. I moved my mic a little bit, guys. I don't know how many people are actually trolling and how many people actually say that there's a serious issue, but if it's not fixed now, it will never be fixed, and you just gotta suck it up. I'm Mikelorus, and I am going to be the one telling you to suck it up. That was quite the endorsement sounding thing, but yeah, we did get to see WP play a little bit earlier. It did seem like their early game was really kind of sketchy. Lots of infamous Young plays that really struck true, and for WP it seemed like they were scrambling for answers most of the time. But for Playmakers, it seems like their drafts were a little bit hit or miss. So we'll see if WP can lock down the early game. We'll see if Playmakers can just get the right heroes in order to deal with what WP are going to be throwing at them. As it stands right now, Oracle is going to be taken out. It is, I guess, just that type of game. They just don't want to be seeing the Oracle. There's still Dazzle. I don't think any of these teams besides Infamous place a huge amount of priority on the Rubik. So probably Dazzle is just going to be, that safe pick. What else is there? Like Sand King Centaur. Sand King banned out, so you can't do that. But Centaur is still available in the pool. And they have already shown that they're kind of okay picking that one up first pick. I don't mind the Centaur first pick really at all. I feel like that hero is really well balanced as far as what he can do. It was a very supporty Centaur in the last game. But we have seen Centaurs that just kind of go off. And then they end up killing everyone. They end up with, 8 kills and 0 deaths, stuff like that. And if you have those type of games, man, Hero looks like the most broken piece of garbage in the entire game. But those are kind of few and far between. We will have for right now Axe as well as a Pugna. Pretty interesting opening from Playmakers. We've only seen a Axe ban so far, so not much of this guy. And I think it was only a singular Axe ban. Like, he was only banned in one game, and that was in the second phase. So to see him now in the first pick definitely makes things a little bit interesting. Is a really nice hero to have up against the PA, and the Pugna is as well, honestly. Being able to decrepify either her or her target, and then just being able to nuke her down, sometimes you just start draining her, and she's like, well, I can try to race for this kill, or I could try to run away, in which case I might die. Those are kind of like lose-lose situations for the PA, so Pugna being able to force those certainly is quite nice. But really, it's all about that Decrepify. If you can keep your allies safe from a jump in from the Phantom Assassin, you're going to be really happy. And of course, you get tower push and overall aggression, which, with an Axe pick, you get as well. I don't think anyone is really going to be too surprised about this. The Phantom Assassin picked up alongside the Dazzle. These two work really well together. Like, much better than any other kind of Dazzle partnerships. Maybe not all other Dazzle partnerships, but you have an ability to get really close to the opponents. So Shadow Wave, instant guaranteed damage, and then you have slows, so the Phantom Assassin gets even more time to hit the opponents. And then once you get that Juju, minus armor is exactly what Phantom Assassin wants on her team. So it really just checks all the boxes. Oh yeah, and then Grave, obviously Grave, of course. So if you get low and if you need to blink out or to go and race for that last kill, Dazzle's got you covered with the Grave. He's got you covered on all fronts. So I think if you're going to pick up a Dazzle, you should be happy being able to pick up a Dazzle in the first place. But if you're able to grab a Dazzle with a Phantom Assassin, man, that combo is just nuts. There is a chance that the Dazzle is going to be played as a core, in which case the combo doesn't really kick into gear until a little bit later. But if it's in the lane together, then it should be just a absolute monster of a lane. Even if you're up against someone like an Axe, like, you don't really want to be giving Axe a hug. You'll be chipping him down with right clicks and sometimes daggers. But if the Axe does get a call, and if you Shadow Wave, even with that additional armor, that will do a lot of damage. And I mean, that's probably your best chance at actually punishing him for using that call.
5 seconds remaining.
So I like where WP are right now. Again, from what we saw in the previous games, these teams kind of tend to lack disables. We see like one here in the call. So I would like to see them keep that in mind. Again, Centaur for the off lane looking pretty solid for WP. For Playmakers, maybe not as much so. Should be looking for a little bit of disable action from the support standpoint. They just picked up a Witch Doctor before. I don't think it's quite as good here. They picked it up mostly in response to a Beastmaster selection. But Lich is still available. Maybe not, you know, a huge disabling hero. They can go for... Can they just Lich Grimstroke? I mean, that's a pretty commonly seen support duo. They work rather well together. You get that defensive ice armor up against that Phantom Assassin. So whoever she jumps on, you just freeze that target. Or you can Winter Wyvern and do very similar things. Or Tusk can do kind of very similar things. Kind of makes me sad because that means we're not going to see that Lich Grimstroke combo. But you know what? That's okay. Tusk Axe. This is a very run-at-you type of draft from the Playmakers side. A couple disables here and there, but Tusk, what he does really well, outside of protecting his allies with Snowball, he really puts pressure on Dazzles in pretty much throughout all stages of the game. Being able to make sure that the Dazzle in the back isn't just sitting there dropping spells, actually being able to pressure him while at the same time not really losing too much of your pressure elsewhere, that's a really big gain there. Plus, you know, ghetto Blink Dagger with the axe, just roll in with the Snowball, land that call afterwards. Not pretty, but man, does it work well. I like the Tusk quite a bit. I feel like he just does a lot of things for you. Very well balanced. The Undying is a little bit less well balanced as a hero as far as what he does for you. I mean, he gets a little bit of support, a little bit of team fight, and a lot of lane control. So I guess he's like kind of balanced in another way. A little bit more of a direct approach here from the WP side. And it's a really nice one to have when you expect the enemies to be just running at you. You drop down the tombstone, you force them into a decision point. Do we keep running at you, or do we actually respect the power of this tombstone and back off? And if they don't respect the power of the tombstone, man, you're looking at a lot of zombies and a lot of potential kills. Because if you have like Tusk and Pugna who are swarmed with zombies, man, those heroes are not going to last very long. Terrorblade may be able to last a little while longer, and Terrorblade just having all that armor, really nice pick to have up against that PA. WP, again, take note, 0 real disables on their side. And up against the Terrorblade, that means Sunder will go off every single time.
10 seconds remaining.
Absolutely will be needing something in the way of disables.
5 seconds
or
remaining.
like item disables or something like that. I don't know, man. It seems like the heroes that are very frequently picked up to disable are not really available to them anymore. From the support standpoint, probably not going to happen. Core Dazzle doesn't seem great here. Tiny? Can they run a Core Tiny? Can they run a... I don't know. I mean, they need a little bit of disable, not just a singular disable like a Beastmaster. I don't think that'll quite be good enough. Again, it's more physical damage, which is like great synergy with the Dazzle. It works pretty well, but I just don't think this is the time for that. Go for that mid lane. You know your matchup is going to be up against Pugna. So let's go for the Centaur. I already mentioned why he's good here, and things haven't changed. So it's a pretty expected pick there. But what's gonna go with this? What's gonna happen with this Dazzle? What's gonna happen with this mid lane? If you're Playmakers, you have the option of running the Axe in a support role alongside that Tusk. Seems a little bit greedy. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to do. I mean, they have been shown. They've shown in their previous games that they are more than willing to be playing those greedy drafts with multiple cores, who all need farm. I think Axe Core though, or yeah, Axe Core is probably the better way to go. Look for that secondary support.
Radiant team
Meepo, we take it out. I mean, yeah, sure. Sometimes you just gotta get rid of Meepo. what support would they want, Playmakers? They already have a lot of pressure, probably a little bit of defensive power. Winter Wyvern seems okay here. I think Shadow Shaman might actually be
10
decent
seconds remaining.
if they play it. The only team I've seen
5
play
seconds
Shadow
remaining.
Shaman is Infamous, so I'm not really sure if that's really in the cards. Yeah, I'm expecting that to be a support pick.
Radiant
Support
team
Axe, the Storm Spirit out. They're expecting something a little bit crazy
pick.
here,
Dire
WP.
team pick.
By the way, they'll grab the Arc Warden. So that Storm Spirit band is very, very protective over their Arc Warden. A severe lack of disable once again from the WP side. So if you're Terrorblade, you're going to be pretty happy. And then we have a Bat Rider for Playmakers. So let's see who's going to be grabbing what. I don't expect WP to be doing anything crazy. Pugna and Terrorblade going to be grabbing those core rolls as expected. Sword plays Bat Rider. Yeah. And these are not really good heroes to be playing up against Bat Rider. Anyone, really, on WP. Like, I guess Phantom Assassin is a blink out, but you have no way of self-purging, or anyone, no one has a way of self-purging up against that Bat Rider. You can't really harass the Bat Rider back as much as he can harass you back. That seems like a very, very dangerous lane. It is worth noting that Costa Bile's, like, bread and butter, his
10
hero,
seconds
the thing
remaining.
that he's known for is Arc Warden. So, I mean, he has
seconds
the maximum
remaining.
amount of comfort he could possibly have. That being said, you're still going to be in positions where you have to desperately split push in order to defend against the siege from Terrorblade. You still have to worry about that Bat Rider jump in and the Axe jump in if you're Arc Warden. I could see WP getting a little bit ahead and then keeping Playmakers off guard with that split push. But I think what's more likely is that Playmakers just crush the lane with the Bat Rider. Faker just demolishes his lane as per usual because there's really no huge contest for the Pugna. And then Playmakers kind of snowball in for a really, really heavy early game lead. I feel like that's the most likely thing that's going to happen here. I mean, if I'm on WP right now, I'm looking at that Bat Rider and I am scared, man. I do not want to be laning up against that Bat Rider as any of these heroes. Not a single one of these guys wants to play against Bat Rider. Like, maybe if Dunya was a core Dazzle, like, maybe he would have a decent shot versus Bat Rider. That, even then, it's not great, I would say. And he's not a core Dazzle, he's support, so, I mean, you can only do so much there. This is going to be trouble for WP. I'm liking Playmakers draft quite a bit here. They have a couple heroes that stun. Wowee. Turns out picking heroes that stun is a pretty good strat, guys. So let's see if there's going to be anything crazy going on. Looks like no. Everything is exactly as it should be. Except for this Axe support, which we saw picked up. It's a little bit weird, but man, if you're looking at a couple of enemy melee heroes in the opposite lane, such as a Centaur Warrunner, such as an Undying, Axe is a pretty nice hero just to keep them back. You may not have the counter helix, even if you do have Battle Hunger. Just being able to Battle Hunger them and then just kind of running at them, especially with the Metamorphosis from the Terrorblade, drives them back really well. Looks like, yeah, Leo's going towards safe, and Kosa's going into the mid lane as the Arc Warden. I expect there to be a pretty nice advantage for the Pugna there. So Arc Warden, I mean, he's kind of nice in the mid lane because you could like drop these Spark Wraiths in like really weird positions and force your enemies into like weird movement patterns. Level 1 Battle Hunger, doing like no damage, feels bad, man. But outside of that, he doesn't really have the nuking power to keep up with the Pugna. Does have some decent base damage, but I think the Pugna's chip from Blast is going to be just a little bit better. Bounty runes. Looks like it's going to be a 2-2 split. Gotta keep an eye on this Tusk and this bottom lane. You can see the Phantom Assassin first thing. Wants to go for Magic Stick, as she should. Sword is going to be a menace here. Dazzle can only help so much. Already see Sword starting to drop that Napalm. Takes a dagger and a Poison Touch. I mean, going for that singular stack of napalm doesn't really do anything. You gotta wait till they're in lane to really make use of that spell. There's also that Tusk, though. If you shard off the Dazzle or something like that, you snowball him. I think this might be a lane where you don't prioritize tag team because Batrider doesn't really right click. You know, most of the time it's just like 1-1-1, tag team, and shards maxed. This might be a time for something a little bit different. Of course, that's not going to happen until like level 3 on the Batrider, so we'll keep an eye on his levels. Till then, though, up in top lane, Excel is just trying to mess with these enemy strength here as best he can. You can see he's not taking all that much damage. Battle Hunger into run at your opponents is usually a pretty good strat for the axes. Especially if these heroes are really going to struggle to get CS up against a Terrorblade, who's metamorphed. Net issue net. Well, I mean, at least they all have the same excuse, so we know it's the right excuse, right? Battle Hunger. Oh. You can get a lot of Battle Hungers out as Axe. Like, you just have enough mana pool to do that. But unfortunately for him, only being level 1, with the Terrorblade who doesn't have Metamorphosis, the lane gets substantially weaker. This, though, is what I'm scared of if I'm Arc Warden. Like, you just got chipped down super hard by Faker. Null Talismans are going to be picked up, so the damage deficit is going to be equalized just a little bit. And the blasts ain't going to stop. Like, they're never stopping over in this mid lane. Like, try and deny? No, you get nothing. And now your lane is being pushed in, and Arc Warden really doesn't want to be lasting under his tower. He can manage it because his base damage is not that bad, but, ooh, Cat is in a little bit of trouble himself. Gets a really fat decay in Soul Rip, though. And now they stomp onto the Axe, getting no spins at all. Gets one. And he's going to be able to retreat. Oh, Dazzle maybe not able to retreat because 4 stacks of Napalm are on him. Sword is taking a lot of damage from the tower, but he gets the kill, and now he should fly away to safety in the trees. He'll be fine. It looks like Tusk is going to get chased down a little bit with 10 stick charges, should survive. That's the threat, man. That's the threat of this bottom lane. You let those napalm stacks go on you, and you don't really have much in the way of counterplay, except for back off and just stay off the creep wave. At least for a Phantom Assassin, you could still last hit when that happens. I don't think that was, yeah, that was not a real kill. That was denied. That was just unintentional. This lack of Batrider is actually kind of nice for, it's kind of nice for Stinger here. Just being able to get a little bit of free time with the creep wave. Leo now has a jump away. Snowball will connect, though still being able to blink out means that pretty much only the Dazzle is a viable kill here. A super easy kill at least. Unless Leo walks back in, there's nothing to Phantom Strike towards. Oh my god, that patch notes. Just infinite patch notes. There's a lot of rescaling. I don't really think it's anything huge. Just a lot of just nice changes for the Phantom Strike. But nothing huge in the way it behaves. I mean, it does behave kind of differently, I suppose. But it's not like something like this. Like, this behaves very differently now. You gotta know the differences, guys, or else you just get bodied. It's like, what is this shiny stuff that he's doing? What does this retaliate? And suddenly he's hitting you for like 160 a pop. You're like, oh shit, that's what it does. I've just now realized what it does.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nice shards, Tusk. Battle Hunger used pretty liberally here. They do have eyes on Benjaz. Looks like with the Battle Hunger, just the right clicks, he's down. Axe likes this very much, disrespecting that Metamorph. He's hitting for 100 a pop. That is no joke. And Centaur's armor situation is pretty low. It's got all the health in the world, but there's no armor to protect it. So Terrorblade just will have those nice and easy matchups. Although now Tombstone, Zombie doesn't hit, so not really going to be worried about too much damage coming his way. And Stinger, he's worried a little bit more. Poison Touch will kill him. Leo, he's sitting in the Firefly with 6 stacks of napalm. Tower shots are going towards Sword a little bit too close to the tower for too long. Looked like he was just on the edge of that tower range, but hey, he still goes down to take down a PA. Maybe not the best trade in the world for that bottom lane, but for the Bat Rider, he at least got something. And now Dunyao, he's going to get walled off on this cliff side. He can't do anything to escape, and the Bat Rider's coming back in. There's a snowball here as well. Gonna grab the Bat Rider? No, you don't need to. Just drop the fire. Burn him up. Here comes the PA, but she can't really do enough damage. As long as they stick on this Dazzle, he's dead. And they got him. This is a fun lane to be Bat Rider, although his CS is not really looking super impressive. And why get CS when you can get kills? You have to watch out for that tower, though. I feel like he's taking way too many tower hits in his dives. Whoa, okay. Damn it, I knew that was going to happen eventually. I didn't realize Pug hit level 6. It's only 6 minutes, and now he's level 7. Once you get that life drain with that Decrepify Blast, if you land that and then just immediately drain, as long as you have the mana to do all of that, man, that's some serious deeps. Oof, those decays, though. 416 max health for Terrorblade. This is pretty standard Pugna stuff. He and the Terrorblade are just on top of the net worth chart pretty comfortably, I would say. Terrorblade is very far ahead. And with the reflection out, Cat's going to Tombstone. Try to get himself a little bit of space, but that's just going to be free gold here. They'll take it down. That's 150 for the Terrorblade. And he might even just get a different hero killed off. Benjaz taking a lot of damage. Battle Hunger slowing him down just a touch. Will it be enough? They still have the vision. Battle Hunger wears off. One more right click sneaking through. No, they can't quite find him. Benjaz is running. He's running and chopping. They're going to turn around and try to kill off Cat instead. Benjaz still alive. Cat not as lucky. So it takes a hell of a long time. But in the end, it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. Sword trying to pick a fight with Leo right now. Napalm makes his right clicks do so much damage. Look at that. It's like 80 a pop. Now with the flame break, that dot is going to destroy Leo. He's going to die straight to it. Sword gets a double on the bottom. Actually, yeah, he does get 2 kills on the bottom. Terrorblade walks away with 1 kill. And perhaps even better than that 1 kill, that Tombstone kill. This TB is as happy as you can possibly be. Like, you cannot find a happier TB in any game ever. And this Bat Rider is also pretty damn jubilant also. He's going to go for Blink Dagger first. I'm not sure if I like that. It's not a bad item first. Like, it's never going to be bad. With Bat Rider, it's all about how much can I get away with versus these heroes. And I think in this situation, the answer is a hell of a lot. So I would like to see him pick up a little bit of extra movement speed in the drums first. Like, yeah, it's a little bit of a different build-up nowadays, but it still just lets you run around and do whatever the hell you want. I mean, Blink Dagger is still good. You're not going to be upset that you have a Blink Dagger. It's just, do you need Blink Dagger immediately at this moment? Because he's getting it so fast. Let's do a quick look here. Where's the drums? There we go. 13% movement speed. That's what you're all about. I mean, it also gives you 6 movement speed. I'm not sure if that's a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot, but getting those stats, getting that movement speed. How much is it? 1,500 gold? He can pick that up right now. And then push his movement speed, probably when he pops the drums, close to 400. And once you have that, no one's escaping you. And if you just run at someone with Firefly, with that on, like, you don't really need a Flaming Lasso. And you don't even need a Blink Lasso, because you can just run in and Lasso and then run out with them. Just grab them with movement speed. Now, in different games, when Bat Rider's, like, getting his face smashed in, rough lane, whatever, died a couple times, then if you find yourself with, you know, 2,000 gold, 15, 20 minutes in, you grab the Blink Dagger and you're happy with it. In games like this, though, when you're getting kills, you try to greed out. I'm not sure about greedy Bat Rider builds in this patch, though. Maybe drums just turns out to just not be as good. There's a definite possibility on that. Oh, don't pass that line, Dunyao. Okay, well, he's in trouble now. Grab him? Do you need to grab him? Flame break him back. Firefly overhead is going to grab him at the end. Roast him. Oh, that is a beating, man. It's just like he got past like what, this line? You pass that line, you're just instantly dead. Nothing you can do about it. Such a clean game to be Bat Rider. Like, this is the dream for Bat Riders. You want games like this 24/7, 365. Leo versus Stinger, tag team. Is this only allies? Causing enemies that are attacked under you. Oh, maybe it's random things as well. Stinger's just gonna get dropped though, and now Sword gonna get jumped as well. But he has Fireflies, so we can get over this cliffside if he really needs to. And it looks like he'll just do that. No sense wasting it. Oh, he's starting to napalm him up. I don't think he can get anything done. He doesn't have a lasso. If he did, he would be able to play around these cliff sides really efficiently, but yeah. Just gonna grab that bounty rune, and Leo, not even level 6 yet, so no chance getting that kill. Now Benjaz, maybe you should have stampeded away from that Terrorblade, because, oh man, Leo went back in. You what, bro? Why are you doing that? 4-12 and Playmakers are looking like a different team compared to what we saw from them versus Infamous. I mean, their draft is solid as hell. And they are just running all these lanes. Like, even if they didn't have a Terrorblade at this stage, they would still be doing really well in mid and dominating bottom lane. Okay, Faker is getting absolutely fluxed up though right now. He's gonna have to drain himself to keep him alive. Leo's gonna jump right in. Walrus Punch. Gonna stall him up a little bit. There's another blast to return. Doesn't land onto either of them though. Another blast is up in a couple seconds, and it will be a Decrepify onto the PA, but a Stampede gets them both out. Pugna is still very soft despite how much damage you can put out, so you gotta watch out. Got Bottle, and this should be Blink Dagger Gold on the bat if he really wants it. Look at them go. There's no real response to a Blink Lasso on Well Played Gaming. Like, what do they do? If your ally gets grabbed, what's the play? Stampede in and try to chase after him? That's probably the best case scenario. Other than that, you can't do anything. Look at this Tusk. I like the deviation in his build. Again, he knows that his allies, Pugna, the Axe, they don't really right-click things. Tag team isn't really that great. May as well just get the shards, get the flat damage.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This is not what you want to see as a PA.
Is under attack.
They do trip a scan though, and Costa also doesn't really want to see this. Flame Break does bump him back. They grab the real one, and they will bring him right back in towards a Pugna. The Drain, the Firefly, so many dots on the floor, and he's down. Sword got Flux, but he's going to have a little bit of a help from Tusk to get him out of there. Tusk going a little bit too far, but will back off safely. Tower taken in the meantime. Showing off a Blink Dagger by killing off an Arc Warden. That's the dream right there. This is just every single dream coming true here for Sword. Oh, and he gets an Invis Rune. Speaking of dreams, dude, play well, get rewarded, right? Towers falling in the meantime, every which way. Now, Playmakers just got done with like a grueling grind fest of a best of 3 versus Infamous. Whereas WP had, you know, 2-3 hours of break. Maybe they're just not quite warm anymore, and Playmakers are extremely warm. Because this is definitely, like, out of character, I would say, for both of these two teams to be performing this poorly on WP and to be, like, crushing it this hard as Playmakers. So we saw in the last game it was a little bit more hit or miss from them. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying they're just on fire right now. Top tier 1 gonna be dropped, but at the same time we got Faker pushing this bottom tier 2. You may get this tower, but it's gonna be a little expensive, especially when the backup is gonna start flying in. Fire flying in. Oh, Leo, he's the one in front. Sword has a full Invis Rune, and they have no idea. So they have absolute full vision here. It's time to grab Leo. They see his backup is leaving him. You're coming with me, buddy. There goes an easy PA, jumping forward for more. Snowballs out. Sword's gonna take a lot of damage here, but the backup with the tag team may just be enough to get some return kills. Not with the Stampede, actually. They've overcommitted his Terrorblade, now going to finally arrive to that party. Stinger trying desperately to take down that Tombstone. He will fall short though, as Dunyao with the Shallow Grave will keep himself alive. It's going to be the Terrorblade in the middle of this fight, just right-clicking everyone. Sunder doesn't really do anything, now he's just going to get blasted by the Double Edge, but here comes the Pugna. Blast takes down 2. And now looking for the final kill. Excel has got a lot of zombies on him, but with the Pugna's help, they will make it a clean sweep. Excel just getting swarmed. Perhaps not the cleanest engagement there from Playmakers. They do lose their Terrorblade. And you can see it's definitely going to cost them. But still, it's the Axe who collects huge, the Pugna who collects huge. Definitely going for that PA I like. Jumping forward by yourself as a Bat Rider with having no stat items, I don't really like that quite as much. If he had a bracer or, you know, some sort of hood or something, yeah, then go for it. You jump forward like that though, and you're gonna draw the aggro of 3 enemies easy. Holy crap, it's 15 minutes and the support Axe has a Blink Dagger. Oh no, Leo, no. They don't have a lasso. It looked like the Bat Rider made a play as if they had a lasso, and Leo's gonna jump towards the creeps, but that's not gonna do him many favors. Still the Bat Rider's overhead, and he's gonna go down. And fake Costa Bile is gonna come in, and he's just gonna get drained out. 180 Gs for that clone. Does the Arc Warden real one have anything yet? No. Does he? He should. Okay, he has a book. That's 16 minutes. That's so slow. They see the Blink Dagger on Axe. They got him in the flux, and now he's just going to try to turn around and fight it out. He has backup coming in, but there is... Actually, there is a lasso. But into the Tombstone, that's a bad idea. Is PA the Leo style? I'm pretty sure he is not. I'm pretty sure he just changed his name to it, but I am not entirely sure. I'm like 60% sure it's not. Stinger, by the way, is taking a lot of damage here, and it is damage onto the Undying going both ways. Oh, from the side though, Costa Bile gonna grab a free kill. His main guy though is revealed. He gets decrepified, but that's not really gonna do him any favors. He's just gonna get torn apart as the Terrorblade driving everyone else back. Someone paused. Net the immediate tip on the pause. Alright, so Cat should be fine. Benja should be fine. The Bat Rider is fine. Yeah, this is a pretty huge slaughter in favor of Playmakers. They are making plays in this game for sure. The fact that Terrorblade is able to just walk in and just start right-clicking people with no one stopping him, no one contesting him at all. Do you know when you get to do that? Do you know under what circumstances you get to do that? When the enemy team has no stuns. Centaur is the only stun. That's it. This PA, man, is in sad town. Like, even discounting this entire advantage, Terrorblade is still going to be a struggle for the draft of WP to handle, even if this game was a 0 gold difference game. The fact that he's this far ahead and is in an advantageous position draft-wise spells absolute doom for WP. Oh, tower defended. Unless this illusion does a lot more damage than I thought. Well, looks like tower will be defended and denied. Probably. Easy. Unless they don't want to. They're still chasing. Sunder, Terrorblade does get himself up to full. Although it's a debate the entire time. Snowball's available here from Stinger. They're just going to split out as the Terrorblade, and they will get him to safety. Benjaz charging forward, but into a Pugna. Really doesn't want to be there. Snowball with the Dagon. Blast him for the kill. They jump in really deep. Grab the Arc Warden. Love the play from Sword. Get themselves another and another. It's the Undying on the chopping block next. As Dunyao is free and clear. This tower now is going to be destroyed properly. Boom. That play from Sword could have had his choice on everyone. But he decides to take just the couple more moments, go to the back line, find the Arc Warden, find the kill that matters. Also, Terrorblade survives. Even if they got the Terrorblade there for WP, that's a painful exchange. Uh-oh. He's fine. No one can cancel that here. What is that, a level 3 Dagon? It's so hard to tell what level Dagons are. Uh-oh. Oh, God. How good is Decrepify, guys? How good is Pugna? Stampede is out. Sword looks like he's all alone. So they Stampede for a sword kill. Which, I mean, like, oh, I was gonna say is worth it until that happens. Like, trading that 1 for 1, even though it's a PA, this Bat Rider is worth so much more than the PA. We should take him out. But after that, man, that's just no good. Oh, Blast. And the Snowball takes out another 200 gold worth of Necro units. This game is looking real rough for WP. The Centaur has a Blink Dagger and a Crimson. We can see how much that matters right about now. Crimson doesn't help you versus Pugna. Looks like with his just raw health pool of 2,000, just short of killing him.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Playmakers, do they have a Metamorph? They have a little bit. I don't think it's going to be enough time to really destroy this Roche, but they should still have it. Especially on... Oh, unless Faker gets jumped. That double-edged stomp did about nothing. He decrepifies, TPs. Knowing that there's only one stun, he's fine. Where did he go? He went all the way over here. Try to grab this boundary. In the meantime, his allies trying to go for that Roche. With no Metamorphosis, that's going to be a tough call. So I think it's probably time to back off, reset. At least wait for your Pugna to get back in here. Drop that Nether Ward. And then look for a fight. Because you have a Bat Rider in this area. Bat Rider is king. Like, look at all these, like, things that he could fly over. It's freaking everywhere. Oh, looking for the Undying. Okay. He's going to get graved. But then dumped. Nice dazzle, bro. Jump, hoof stomp onto the axe. But that's fine because here comes the Bat Rider. Is going to grab the Centaur. A little bit of revenge for that play. Notice this clone is in the middle of this fight doing a little bit of damage, but this fight is going all over the place. Where's the Terrorblade? He's just not a part of this at all because it's so spread out and he's not ranged. Although it's still WP's heroes just be falling nonstop. A straight TP out from Stinger. He just TPs in the face of 3 heroes. And now the reflection goes off onto absolutely everyone. The blast from the Pugna, the bump back, the damage is too much. Double kill for Faker. They jump in and call Dazzle as well. That's going to be 3. Triple for Faker and the Necro units. I think it's about time to pack it up, WP, because this one might just be over. You're 21k behind, 21 minutes in the game. This TB has... He was, like, not doing the most in that fight. It didn't even matter. Like, you can't kill the enemy Tusk. He teleports out from 3 heroes. And now Terrorblade has a Metamorphosis. Ugh, it's just bad to worse to worse. Look at this, like this Phantom Assassin is scared shitless, as well she should be. Flame broken back, no lasso, no problem. TP's coming in, it's a Centaur. Maybe the stomp comes in time, but the damage over time, ooh, it's just enough health to keep that PA alive. But that's with no lasso, mind you, and lasso does do damage now. And that damage is, of course, amplified by the sticky napalm, so if there's a lasso, 100% kill, 100% of the time. Back into Roche. Why not? What's the worst thing your enemies can do to you? Lincoln, hoof stomp onto 5? I mean, that's bad, but that's not even that bad. Oh, look at all those little tag team or Dota tooltip / marker buffs. That's a lot of damage, man. Aegis claimed. And look at this TB going for Blink Dagger next. This is a I'm gonna bust the high ground item. You can also just get like a Dragon Lance if he really wants to be safe in doing so. But really, like, you just jump in with the rest of your allies. I mean, you have an Aegis. It's the worst that can happen. Alright, well, he's not gonna go for it. Instead, it's gonna be an MKB. Because that really helps him up against this thing right here, Magnetic Field. Of course, that evasion from the blur. It's only level 2 right now, but hey, may as well hit all the hits instead of just some of them. Lasso grabs the real Arc Warden, it looks like, and the snowball rolls through everyone. Calls there as well. Immediately 2 are down, with the 3rd probably on the way as Dunyao has to just run himself out of there. Sword is still dropping fire in the background. Flame break onto Benjez. He's gonna be just fine, but it's the PA. Immediately has to blink out. That's a 3 kill right off the bat. And that's the tower down as well. So already, just with structural damage, that's a nice little win. They're going to try to go for the TB, but he has a double life. So I'm not really sure if that's the best thing to do, Benjaz. He is going to get into the mag field. He's just standing there. It's over. Yeah, they're going to call it. This game was a one-sided raffle stomp. From the winners match, this is not what I was expecting at all. It's a tough match, man. I did say Playmakers have a better draft, right? I hope I did. Because this Sword Batrider just had the cleanest game of all time. Pugna as well. You gotta challenge the Pugna somehow. Like, 0 deaths, like 15 and 11, that's whatever, man. The 0 deaths, that's what's unacceptable. You have to apply that pressure. But no one on WP could. Like, they are just a glacially slow draft. Really good at slow grinding of the lanes. But once, like, Batrider gets picked up and Pugna, like, you can't contest that anymore. Sword and Faker definitely doing WP real dirty. So, guys, this is going to be the end of game 1. We'll see who's going to drop down to the lower bracket and wait their opponent tomorrow. Otherwise, well, we still have at least one more game to play. I'm Mikelorus, and I'll be right back for it.